So some people, were asking, what does it mean when Christ talks about drink my blood and eat of my body, you know? And to a lot of people, the thought of that is cannibalism and, drinking somebody else's blood. Well, that's flat out cannibalism, right? That's what the carnal mind would think, which means to us humans, it's repulsive. But what it means in reality, and we're not talking about like drink of my blood and eat of my body, like let's say we would approach the body of Christ as piranhas and just eat something, alive. Again, being a carnival, a carnival, um, a cannibal, you know. Um, but I think what it does actually mean is that, like churches, when they give that bread and the little cup of grape juice, and some Roman Catholics, they actually serve wine, um, grape wine, and is to commemorate or to actually be to remember in your mind to honor the day that Jesus' body was broken in sacrifice and shed his blood um, for us, so that we don't have to live by the Ten Commandments. We could live now by grace, which means the Ten Commandments were commandments that pretty much, if you followed, you were almost perfect before the sight of God. But living by the forgiveness of Christ, which is his grace and mercy over all humanity, definitely means that perfection no longer is required, you know, that God acknowledged humanity is imperfect. Prior to that, the 12 commandments were mandates that if you followed, you would be in a good covenant with God. You would be in an amicable status with God. God would think that he would approve of you. He would acknowledge you. But for those that couldn't follow the 12 commandments, what did they do? They sacrificed. They brought their offerings onto the Levites, and the priest of Nun would go into the tabernacle and cleanse himself from head to toe, do these ritualistic acts that would clean him and then approach God beyond the Holy of Holies. That's what was required, and for those like Enoch, those are examples. The Bible uses Enoch, and Enoch not being the only man that was perfect before the sight of God, that God actually took him back in chariots of fire. And we say, man, chariots of fire, right? Chariots of fire. That's Roman mythology, right? I mean, we all know that comes from Rome. I mean, it's a chariot, you know. But we're talking about believing in a God that even those that wrote Roman mythology acknowledged it made them better at what they did. So yes, God is real, you know, and when we talk about partaking of the body of Christ, eat of my body, as Christ said, and drink of my blood. This is all in remembrance of me, to remember me. Remember how I live my life, how I set my example for you to live, and try to carry on your life in the footsteps I have set ahead of you, so that you can be prosperous in life. That's why I remember his body and drink of his blood.